John Kerry meddles in Iran deal. President Trump humiliates him bad, by Dan Lindsay, Politics U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. Former Secretary of State John Kerry has been meddling in the Iran deal behind President Donald Trump's back. Now Trump has a warning for Kerry that he should take very seriously. According to the Daily Caller, John Kerry is under heavy scrutiny after it was revealed that he has been actively working with his Iranian counterparts to keep the Iran deal in place. Kerry's string of secret meetings with politicians and diplomats around the world to preserve the nuclear agreement have now earned him a harsh warning from President Donald Trump. Fox News reports that Trump sent out a message on Twitter on Tuesday morning as a warning to Kerry that he has overstepped his bounds. John Kerry can't get over the fact that he had his chance and blew it. Stay away from negotiations, John. You are hurting our country, Trump wrote. There's his tweet. Clearly, Kerry's meddling with the Iran deal is an attempt to undermine the current administration, and I could not agree more with our president. Kerry had his chance to do something productive with Iran, and he blew it. Yet again, we are seeing the problem with the political ruling class. Even after they are voted out of office, we can't get rid of them. Kerry's recent escapades, where he pretends to be an ambassador of our country, is a national embarrassment. And in my opinion, the Democrats should be dealt with harshly by the Trump administration. I think every American would want every voice possible urging Iran to remain in compliance with the nuclear agreement that prevented a war. Secretary Kerry stays in touch with his former counterparts around the world, just like every previous Secretary of State, a Kerry spokesman told Fox News in an email on Monday. Like America's closest allies, he believes it is important that the nuclear agreement, which took the world years to negotiate, remains effective as countries focus on stability in the region. Yeah, but we have a law that's the Logan's Act that already attorneys have said he has violated the Logan Act. So I don't know what this former person in Kerry's spokesman is. We have attorneys, so tell the spokesman he's got his facts wrong. Okay. Let's go. Sorry about that. Let's just. I'll go to that clip, because these people, I have to look at all these pop-ups at the same time. I can't stand it.
Trump says John Kerry's efforts to try to keep the U.S. in the Iran nuclear deal might be illegal. Let's get more from correspondent Rich Edson at the State Department tonight.
The Secretary of State is meeting with officials from Iran, Germany, France, and the European Union to hold together the Iran nuclear deal. The problem for the Trump administration, that's former Secretary of State John Kerry.
Correct.
The White House is dismissing Kerry's effort. President Trump tweeted, quote, "The United States does not need John Kerry's possibly illegal shadow diplomacy on the very badly negotiated Iran deal. He was the one that created this mess in the first place."
I don't think that we would take advice from somebody who created what the president sees to be one of the worst deals ever made. I'm not sure why we would start listening to him now.
A source close to Kerry says the U.S. should be pushing for Iran to continue sticking to its obligations under the deal. And there's nothing wrong with advocating that. In a statement, the former secretary's spokesperson says, quote, "Secretary Kerry stays in touch with his former counterparts around the world, just like every previous Secretary of State. Like America's closest allies, he believes it is important that the nuclear agreement, which took the world years to negotiate, remain effective as countries focus on stability in the region." One former senator disagrees.
John Kerry is not negotiating on behalf of the U.S. government. I hope everybody he's talking to knows that. But in my opinion, what he's doing is inappropriate, and he shouldn't be doing it.
Republicans complain of a double standard, claiming the criticism of John Kerry is light or non-existent, where many objected to then-eventual National Security Advisor Michael Flynn as he discussed Russian sanctions with Russian officials before President Trump took office. The Boston Globe first reported Kerry's quiet diplomacy. For weeks, the Europeans have publicly lobbied the Trump administration to stay in the deal. The United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson did so this morning. visiting Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. As the public lobbying campaign concludes, less than 24 hours before President Trump announces his decision, one European diplomat says the chances the U.S. stays in this deal are very small, and that it's pretty obvious that unless something changes soon, the president will refuse to waive the sanctions that keep the United States in the Iran deal. Brett.
Rich Edson, live at the State Department. Rich, thanks. What do you think? Do you think former Secretary of State John Kerry is breaking the law by conducting this shadow diplomacy? Let me know on Twitter at Brett Baer. You can use the hashtag Special Report, or on Facebook at facebook.com/BrettBaerSR.
Yeah, but the attorneys say he's violating it. So there you have it. Sorry about the clip. I couldn't play it on this. So President Trump will be making a big announcement in regards to the Iran deal. Many expect that he will reveal whether the U.S. will preserve Barack Obama's failed deal with Iran. With just days to go before the May 12th deadline is reached, many expect the president to reimpose sanctions on Iran that would likely bring the bad deal to an end. And Trump could impose sanctions on Iran's central bank and target the country's oil exports. Some speculate that those doing business with Iran would be given a 6-month grace period to wind down business and avoid running into problems with the new sanctions. Trump also blasted Kerry a day earlier on Twitter for his meddling in Iran, labeling Kerry's actions as possibly illegal shadow diplomacy. We've seen this where he says the United States does not need John Kerry's possibly illegal shadow diplomacy on the very badly negotiated Iran deal. He was the one that created this mess in the first place. So what was Kerry doing? Telling Iran what to do because Trump is going to take away. Trump's getting out of this deal. So Kerry is actually, in my opinion, went down to tell them what they should start doing in order to counter what Trump is going, when he pulls out, what they're going to do. That's basically it. What, are you kidding me? If the President of the United States says we're pulling out, we're pulling out. So what is Kerry doing? Whether he says we're staying in the deal or not has no difference, has no impact. So what is he telling Iran? What to do when Trump pulls out of the deal. So President Donald Trump's harsh words for John Kerry, forget about the words, get the arrest going. That's what I say. So harsh words for Kerry came after it was reported by the Boston Globe that the former Secretary of State had met with the Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif a number of times over the last few months. Kerry also met with the German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier, French President Emmanuel Macron, and several members of Congress. Yeah, to get Trump to stay in the deal, like to push, for these people all to push back against Trump, you see, and to get Trump to change his mind. That's what Kerry was doing. So in response to Trump signaling that the bad deal with Iran may be terminated, Iranian President Hossein Roubani has warned the U.S. of grave consequences should President Trump decide to withdraw from the deal. In my opinion, the days of catering to the radical Islamic leadership of Iran are over. American patriots had more than enough of Barack Obama licking the boots of Iran's leaders and embarrassing our country. It's time for Trump to get tough on Iran and for Kerry to take a seat. I think that's putting it mildly. Kerry should be lawyering up at this moment. That's what I think. He should be facing charges, actually, and not only taking a seat. No, facing criminal charges because he is against whatever the president is trying to do. He has no business. Yeah, let's say all the attorneys said it's illegal for him. He's violating the Logan Act. So what more do you need? It's an easy case to put somebody behind bars. And again, they're saying, oh, many secretaries of state have done this. Yeah, but we've never been in a situation where a secretary in this country where the previous administration is night and day between the present administration. So they cannot do deals. It's not like that they're on good terms to say, oh, he went down. No, he went down to tell Iran to threaten. Yeah, you could threaten all you want with threats. Oh, in other words, we have to pay to have peace? No, that it doesn't work that way. No. It should be, everybody should want peace, and that's the bottom line. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.